All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our webinar here. Let me get this all set up. We still have some people kind of showing up here. And let me see if I can get this all figured out real quick. All right, we're going to share that screen. And let me get my thing open here. Okay, welcome to the roofingsites.com webinar, how to rank your roofing company in Google Maps in 30 days or less. All right, this is going to be a fast and furious webinar. I'm going to try to give you as much as I possibly can in a very short amount of time, just so that we don't waste too much time here. Let's get to the next screen. Okay. All right. So what are we going to cover? We're going to cover our proven roofingsites.com's proven 3-step formula for ranking on Google Maps. We're going to cover the number one issue that is preventing your company from ranking in the maps area. And we're going to talk about the key ingredient for top 3 listing. And then we're going to show you how to properly claim and optimize your listing, and then how to develop authority through citations, and what tools really do you use. And then we're also going to go over how to identify inconsistency in your NAP, your name, address, and phone number profile, and how to get it all cleaned up. Okay, so who am I? My name is Chris Hunter. I'm the Chief Marketing Hero at Marketing Heroes. Located here in College Station. I am a father of 3. This picture on the right is my family at a camp out a couple of months ago. We are heavily involved in scouts. I've been doing search engine optimization since 1998, really since before Google even launched. And I did that. I've got a jet rack right back behind me here, the F-117. I was crew chief on that in the Air Force. And while I was there, I knew that I wanted to become someone to help small businesses build websites, right? That was kind of what I wanted to do. And I launched my own site, got it ranked within 6 months. When I got out of the Air Force, I came here to College Station, Texas, which, if you don't know where that is, that's 90 miles northwest of Houston, home of Texas A&M. Whoop! Right? Yes, I'm an Aggie. And so, anyways, I've been doing search engine optimization for a really, really long time. We started roofingsites.com at around 2018 to really focus on roofers. We kind of like y'all. We like working with roofers. So we decided to kind of double down in that industry, in that vertical and niche, or whatever you want to call it, right? My mission in life right now is to double the size of 100 roofing companies by 2025. That is a lofty goal. And we are working really, really hard to help with obviously the marketing side of things, but I'm also helping some of our clients with the sales side of things as well. Random fact, I have an Eagle Scout as of last month. And that's Kenneth. That's the one in the back there, looking kind of goofy with his smile. And the other scout is really close to, and actually getting on his way to becoming an Eagle as well. He's a Star Scout, about to be Life Scout, which is the step right down from Eagle Scout. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is really a part of my 4R roofing marketing system. The 4R roofing marketing system is an evergreen marketing system that I've developed over the past 20 years that consists of 4 different pillars. And if you get all 4 of these pillars right, something happening correctly in all 4 of these pillars, then you have a very solid marketing system. Okay, so what are these? This is reputation, reach, resell, and referral. Okay, so reputation is your base. It's you can't do anything without a solid reputation, right? This also goes for marketing. The reach is basically getting in front of more people today than yesterday. What we're going to talk about today, Google My Business, and really Google Business Profile is what it's called now. And getting ranked on maps is really a huge part of that reach section. Now, we call this an evergreen marketing system simply because as things stop working, we simply take them out of our system in that pillar and replace it with something else, right? So we're always here at roofingsites.com, we're always in research and development mode, and just constantly evolving because marketing is a moving target. Okay, a great example of this, by the way, are the Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages no longer work. They really haven't in about a decade. And we have replaced it, obviously, with the things that are sitting in our pockets, right? These things right here, have replaced the Yellow Pages 100%. If we need to find something, we'd go to our phone or our laptop or something like that, right? Resell is the next pillar, and that's the kind of important to sell again to people who have purchased from you before in the past. People are 8 times more likely to purchase from you if they have had a positive experience. So why not just dip back into that? For roofers, this is these are cross sells and upsells, as well as just staying top of mind with folks throughout the years. Okay, so that when hailstorm comes through and you did the roof 3-4 years ago, who's going to be the person that they're going to call? Well, hopefully they're going to call you before they look into Google Maps, right? If they had a positive experience. Okay, now referral is the very top, pinnacle, or pillar, right? Sorry. And referrals are something that most businesses are really built off of, but very few businesses I've found in the past 20 years actually have an actual referral system in place. And again, just like on resell, people are way more likely. Those are the easiest sales that you can possibly get, right? Is people who are referring your business to them. Okay. So anyways, what we're talking about today is Google Maps. That is part of the reach pillar here. Okay, so just so you know the overall for our roofing marketing system. Okay, so why do we want to rank in maps, right? If you don't know this, Google Maps has become in the past 5 years the hottest place to get ranked in. Now the problem is that there are 3 spots, literally 3 spots. They call it the 3-pack. It used to be 6, then it went down to 5, and then it went down to 3. It is placed in the search engine result pages at the top. So guess what is driving most of the calls right now when people search for your services? Google Maps, okay? So for me, the number one reason is that, and I said this earlier, Google and smartphones has replaced the, has replaced the Yellow Pages, okay? So that's exactly what we want to be ranked in, right? Okay, so let's talk real quick about how do we actually get ranked. We have a formula here at roofingsites.com, right? Our formula is simple. Google My Business ranking or Google Maps ranking or Google Business Profile ranking, right? Those are all 3 kind of synonymous. All right, so GMB ranking equals citations plus reviews plus content plus on-site SEO, okay? We're going to go through all of this here in this webinar, okay? And I just want to make note that content, all right, I've got this little star asterisk right down here. Content equals Google My Business posts. These are images, text, videos, whatever. Google has created an area that you can actually, add content to. And Google really, really, really likes content, right? It likes to be fed. So the more that it is fed, the happier it's going to be. Okay. Okay. So what is the number one thing that is holding you back right now? And this goes not just for ranking on Google Maps. Okay. This goes not just for search engine optimization or any of these things, right? This goes for absolutely everything. The number one thing holding your marketing back right now is consistency. Okay. So we want to make sure that we stay consistent in everything that we do, right? Which honestly is why a lot of people hire a company like us, like roofingsites.com, is because they don't have the time or energy or know-how to stay consistent with all of these things. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about what's important. I put these out there before, right? But citations are important. What are citations? Citations are simply name, address, and phone number in directories throughout the internet, right? You want to make sure that your citations are all consistent. Um, reviews. Reviews are very, very important. And we're going to go over a little bit of this, but reviews really, really are helping to drive the rankings a lot right now. Okay. Content, we talked about that here a few minutes ago. Content is in the form of, what Google likes to be fed. It likes to be fed that content. So it just makes sense to, do that on a consistent basis. And then the last piece is website authority. Okay. We have found that um, if you have if you're trying to get ranked in Google Maps and you don't have an authoritative website, meaning that Google hasn't placed a lot of importance on your website, you don't have links, you don't have content being added to that website on a regular basis, you're not going to get ranked in Google My Business. It's just the fact of the matter that you're just not going to get ranked. Okay, so all of these things come into play. These four things are super, super important. Okay, so let's talk about content real quick. Content, it includes images, right? Google has a place for you to upload images on a regular basis. For all of our roofers, we like to put after photos, right? After shots, work shots of you and your staff, of your crews, pictures of you, into your trucks, right? That's kind of important. You and your clients talking. I mean, just think of just different ways that you can use images. And that's what Google is really, really liking. They do not like stock photography, so do not add stock photography to your Google My Business. Okay, videos, video in the past 5 to 10 years has become more and more and more important when it comes to marketing in general. But right now, when we're talking about Google My Business or Google Business Profile and Google Maps, getting ranked on Google Maps, videos really, really, really work. Okay. And that's because they're highly engaging and people watch them. And the more that they watch them, those videos, then the more engaged that Google views your channel, right? Or your listing. And therefore, it's going to place a little bit more authority on it. Okay. Articles. So we use blog articles for search engine spider food. That's what I like those for, right? And when we take and write a blog entry for our clients, we will put it on the website. We'll put it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google My Business. Okay, and that's because Google really, really likes that, and so it's a little bit different on how you post it. To the, if we treat this as a social channel, it's it's a little bit different, right? You want to shorten it. You don't need a full article, and you want to place a link back to the original blog inside of the Google My Business account. Okay, so super, super important. We want to make sure that we're adding articles, right, that links to your blog on a regular basis. We're adding images, we're adding videos, we're just mixing up and constantly adding. Every single week, you want to be adding something, okay? If not every day. I've seen a lot of Google My Business profiles really rise up in the rankings just by simply adding content. Okay, it's something that's free for you to do, right? Yes, you've got to get the images. Yes, you've got to get videos. Yes, you've got to write the articles and all that kind of stuff. But it's a free tool basically for Google My Business. Okay. All right. So the next step, citations. What are citations? Name, address, phone number. Right. You want to make sure that they're consistent everywhere throughout the internet. Okay. You want, and I like to start with the Google My Business account. So if the Google My Business account is you're already you've already verified it, right, and it's already there, take that exact address and then make sure that that is multiplied throughout the entire internet. Okay, so these are going to be places like Facebook, you want to make sure that it's correct there. You want to make sure that it's correct even on your website, right? So a great example of this is that if, let's say, instead of spelling out Boulevard, right? If that's in your name, you want to BLVD is on the Google My Business. You want BLVD on your website. Now, here's the key also is that if it says BLVD period, you want to have BLVD period. But if it's not that way on your Google My Business listing already, make sure that it's not put with a period on your website. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Let me slow down here. Anybody have any questions so far? Make sure that let's see. Is everybody with me on everything? I just kind of just bulldoze my way through all of that. Okay, type a 1 into the chat if you're with me, if you understand. All right, 1. All right, cool. All right. So the next thing on citations, we talked about the website, we talked about directories. What tools do you use? Well, the tools that I like to use to ensure that your citations are correct throughout the internet is Yext, right? That's a tool that I've used before in the past. And my personal tool that I really love, really love is Moz Local, MOZ Local. Okay. What that will do, and I'll show you guys an example here in a few minutes. But what it does is it checks your citations, and once you pay for their service, it's like $100 a year. I think they're going up to $125 a year, something like that. Once you buy that service, you put your name, address, phone number in there, and it'll tell you all of the places that you're missing, all right, or that you've got it wrong. And so you can just simply go in there, and for the most part, if you change it inside of their tool, it'll change it throughout the internet, okay? There's a couple places that you have to go in and actually, do it by hand, but it'll let you know on that. Yext is the exact same tool. These two tools are important to tell you, one, what's messed up, without you having to hand go and do all of this for your name, address, and phone number, and so anyways, I highly recommend Moz Local. All right. Okay, so let's talk about reviews. All right, reviews are super important. Okay, I have seen listings that if they focused on reviews, right, that seemed like all that they did, they rose up in the rankings just by simply getting more reviews. All right, so how do you get reviews? Well, one, and I see most roofers doing this wrong. They rely on their sales staff to do this, and or the owner, right, to do this. But you want to make sure that you get a review after every single job, right? And this is the important part. Make sure that you get it in your job closeout process. All right, meaning that you take this out of your sales staff or your foreman hands and put this into the accounting department's hands. Okay, we have found way more success doing this. Now, another key, and I didn't write this down here, is make sure that you send out a review request via text message. Okay, text messages are 10 times more likely to actually open those text messages than not, and so we're having a lot of success by simply sending text message campaigns out. Which brings me to my next step here, is that in order to do this on a consistent basis, you have to have a system. Whether that system is you manually doing it, your accountants or your accounts payable staff, accounts receivable staff actually doing this after every job is closed out, and you want to follow up at least 3 times, okay? Or you put a system in place like what we have for all of our roofers. We call it the reviews machine, okay? And the reviews machine is basically you fill out a form on our system after every job with a name, mobile phone, and email address, and it automatically sends on a regular basis all of those, a drip system via text message and via email. Okay. All right, so everybody with me on that? Reviews are super important. Citations are super important. Content is super important. Okay, those three things, right, are going to help you get ranked really, really quickly if you concentrate on those things. Okay. All right, everybody with me? Everybody type of one, one. All right, if you're with me, yeah. Okay, one. And I see a few questions here. We'll get to those here at the end. Okay, I do have a little section here at the end just for questions. Okay, so our next thing, our fourth item here is website authority. Well, Google and website rankings on organic website rankings and Google My Business rankings go hand in hand together, right? Um, and if you think about it, it makes sense, right? You don't want, if you were Google, would you want to rank something really high uh, that is not authoritative? Probably not, right? So the most authoritative websites are probably going to get ranked inside of Google My Business or the Google 3-pack a lot quicker than, you know, than a roofer who has a poor website or has no authority to that website. So what does this mean? This means, to me, this means search engine optimization needs to be done on a regular basis um, for that listing for your website. Okay, so what is SEO? SEO, in my opinion, is two things: links coming back to the website from other authoritative websites, and content being added on a regular basis to the website. This also includes landing page, which are service or keyword plus locations, right? So service plus location type pages. The more of those that you have, the more emphasis that Google places on your website authority. Okay, that and links, and you want to have good links nowadays. Way back in the early days of SEO, when I first started, you could just buy backlink packages from somewhere, and for $100, and they would just go out and spam the entire internet. Well, Google caught on to that, right? And they don't want you to do that practice anymore. Basically, what they would really like you to do is to get high authoritative links, right? Places like the Better Business Bureau, places like, you know, the NRCA website. If you've got an NRCA listing, make sure that you've got a link coming back to your website. This is Facebook, this is Twitter, this is LinkedIn. All of those places have places for you to put backlinks back to your website. Okay, so those links are very, very important. All right, so I would highly recommend that just follow this formula. And I did another webinar last month on exactly how to do this. So go on our YouTube channel, go look at it. On how to rank in organic in 2022 for 1,000 pages, I think is what I said on that webinar, right? Okay, so the last step, and this goes for absolutely everything that it comes to marketing: consistency. You have got to be consistent with everything that you do, okay? Consistently add content to your Google My Business, consistently add content to your website, consistently add links to your website, consistently add images and videos all to your Google My Business, okay? The more consistently get reviews. If you did that right on a regular basis, right, and you had someone maybe in-house, or you're paying someone like us that can be your outsourced marketing department, right? That can actually happen on a very consistent basis, because you know what? They're getting paid to do that. So, okay, now here's the big question, and this is one thing that I kind of talked about earlier. If I were going to do one thing, if I were going to do one thing and one thing only to get ranked on Google My Business or in Google Maps, what is that one thing that I would do personally as an expert? Reviews. I have seen websites, and I mentioned this earlier, I have seen listings, right, that ranked simply because that was the only thing that they were doing. They were consistently getting reviews, and that was it, right? So if I had one thing to do and that's all I could do, I would simply get more and more reviews. Okay, and which makes sense because Google wants to rank um, businesses that have a really good reputation, right? It comes back down to that 4R system, that very base of everything that you do in marketing is your reputation. And so therefore they're not going to rank you if you've got a poor reputation. Okay. All right. If you want to learn all of this stuff, if you want to do all this stuff in house, we have something that we called the Ultimate SEO Checklist for Roofers. You can download it for free at seochecklist.roofingsites.com. Okay. This will give you absolutely everything that you need in order to do rank your website as well as your Google My Business. Okay, it's literally the checklist that we use and we do every single month to make sure that we have done everything that we needed to do. All right. Okay, everybody still with me? All right, give me a 1 in the chat if you are still with me. We are coming up to around 30 minutes on this. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, cool. Has this been good content for y'all? Has this been good information? Hopefully it has. Hopefully you are seeing that, it's not rocket science. SEO is not rocket science, okay? You can do this all yourself, all right? However, if you are tired of wasting time and money with ineffective marketing and you need a system that helps you make more sales, and if you would like to free yourself from chasing leads, book a strategy session with me at roofingsites.com/schedule. Okay. In that, we will go over exactly what's wrong with your marketing, right? And we have a checklist, right, that we can go down through and we can see what the holes are in your marketing strategy, right? Is it SEO? Is it Google My Business? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it having a newsletter, right, that you're staying top of mind with your customers with? Is it that you just don't seem to have a review system in place or even a referral system in place, right? All of these things, once you mix it all together in the marketing realm, it gives you a solid marketing system, and that's what I want to do for you. All right. So if any of these things are ringing a bell and you need help with your marketing, I'd love to talk. Just use this information. Go to roofingsites.com/schedule, or you can just simply email me at chris@roofingsites.com. That's nice and simple there. Okay. I've got a big announcement. Right, we're coming up to the end of the webinar, but I've got a huge announcement. My book is on Amazon that you can buy right now. Okay, The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers: How to Get More Leads and Sales to Grow Your Roofing Company is published. I published it at the beginning of this month on Amazon. I believe it was June 3rd. If you want this for free, I will sign my copy. I will sign a copy and send it to you for free, absolutely free. Just email me at chris.hunter@roofingsites.com. And I am more than happy to autograph. This is my first book that I've ever done. I'm totally geeking out on it. And, it's been something that I've been working on for several years. I would work on a chapter or two and then get busy with my clients and then go back to that chapter. I'm like, oh man, that all changed. Facebook changed their interface. So I'd have to take new screenshots and all that kind of stuff. But I finally published it. I'm so happy. This is awesome. And so if you want that copy, just email me that you want it for free and give me the address to send it to you. And I will be more than happy to sign a copy and send it over to you. All right. For absolute free, no obligation whatsoever. Okay. All right. Questions. Let's go over some questions. All right. Okay. One of the questions that I have here is how do you, sorry, I'm reading through all of these different questions. How do you optimize your Google My Business? That is something that we did not go over. Okay. And that's because, it's really not that hard, right? I believe the other things are more important, but definitely on-site optimization for your account is important. You're going to want to make sure that your description, um, you know, your description is actually has roofing in it, right? That you're a roofing company, that you do help with roofing replacement or commercial roofing or whatever, all those kinds of things. Make sure that your services, that you put your services in there. Okay. And these can include all your services. I would include, you know, roof replacement, storm damage, hail damage, wind damage, um, gutters if you do gutters, windows replacement if you do that, siding. You know, you get the point. Make sure that in your services area, there's a little area in there to go in and add all of those services in there. And then the last part on-site optimization for the account is making sure that you actually choose the correct category. There's a roofing contractor category. Make sure that you've chosen that one. Okay, so those three things are really the key. Okay, so Moz. I have a question here about Moz Local. What is it? How do I use it? And I told you that I would actually do this. So let me jump out of this, and let me see if I can pull that open. I have one that is ready here. Oops, I'm showing you my CRM. Okay, so I did a quick search, and I just Moz Local, M-O-Z Local, right? They have this thing right here. Check your citations checker thing, and just click on that, and it'll take you to this little tool right here. I real quickly just I don't have anyone in Fort Worth that I work with yet, so I did a search for roofing contractor Fort Worth. Lawn Smith Roofing and Construction came up number one. Okay, so I simply put their information in here. So as you can see, what this tool will do is this will actually share, or sorry, it'll scour the internet real quickly, right, and see exactly what you need to do. So like for instance, their Google search, their Google Maps is correct, hours, photos, all that kind of stuff is correct. Facebook, they've got so let me go back here. So remember when I said that you want to use 904, east instead of EAST, Wagaman Street, and it's ST, no period, and it's not spelt out, STREET. So what's interesting here is that this is what came up for Moz Local. All right. So right here, this says East spelled out, Wagaman Street spelled out. This has a 904. That's why this one is failing. Okay. 904 Fort Worth. So that's probably not all that great, and probably a really super easy thing to fix, right? Bing, Foursquare listings weren't even found. NavMe, that's a online navigation thing. You want to make sure that that is actually in there correct. Not quite sure why. Oh wait, this did pass. Okay. And the other thing that I'd like to do, and this is just real OCD of me, is that I want to make sure that the phone number matches up completely. Like, see this Google Maps listing right here, and it's got the brackets 817 926. Right. I don't like it like this right here with a +1 and then dashes, or just done out. I don't think it really matters that much anymore. In the early days of Google My Business, you had to have those things exact, but just make sure that the numbers all match up, that it's not different phone numbers. So as we look through here, like, look at this, Chamber of Commerce, they're correct in there. They're correct in a lot of places, right? Which could be leading to why they are ranking, right? But they have a little bit of cleanup that they could do for that. All right, and excuse me, sorry, places that they can actually go ahead and go in there and do that, right? So they're missing it altogether in several places, like TomTom and Uber. Uber is a new one in my mind, but this all plugs into this directory. and make sure. But by the way, Moz Local has way more than just these it's listed right here. Okay. And if you put it into one place, it'll push it out to all those other places. About to sneeze again. I apologize. All right. I'm not going to sneeze. Okay. Not going to do it. Okay. So again, hey, thank y'all so much. We're at about 40 minutes here. Thank y'all so much for attending the webinar. Again, if you need help, just reach out to me via email, chris.hunter@roofingsites.com, or go to our website, roofingsites.com/schedule, to actually schedule a time to meet with me, and we will go through and audit your entire marketing and come up with a game plan for you. And show you exactly what you do need to fix. Go to Amazon, find my book, right? And buy it. That has the entire blueprint of exactly how to get your marketing right for your roofing company. All right, I think that's it. I really appreciate y'all coming and showing up to the webinar. And if you're watching it on YouTube later, which most likely you are, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe. I think it's down over here. I'm not quite sure which ways that I'm pointing here, but hit the like and subscribe button to get more content like this in the future. I put at least a video out every single week on how to do one thing or another, and basically just going through my book and picking out little pieces and showing y'all how to do that. And again, it's because my big, hairy, audacious goal is to double the size of 100 roofing companies by 2025. Okay. So anyways, thank y'all so much for showing up and watching this, and have a great day. All right. Bye.